Hello again, and here we go. So yesterday, slash last video, I was working on the GTR. I took out a filter from the front, and then I found out what the leak was in the back from the gas. I have not jacked up the back yet because I was focusing on getting the new filter and trying to find out if I could find what size hose I need for the back. I wasn't able to find it yet, so I'm gonna have to jack it up, take one of the hoses off, go to the store, match the size, length won't be an issue, and then I'll buy one or two pieces. I'll come back, I'll install one and install the other. The hoses will then be good. The filter, that might be a little bit more of an issue. I did go to the store and they had small filters that were just push-in filters. They had small filters that were clamp-ons, and then they had the bigger ones, and this was one that's a size in between. So I showed it on the last video. I'll go ahead and get it out, show it again. By the looks of it, I'm saying it's a 2.5-ish, maybe 3-inch tall filter. The top of it looks to be about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.75 inches. The bottom appears to be about 2.5 to 3-ish inches in diameter. And then the actual rubber clamp part came off, but it's roughly about the same size. And I don't remember what I was saying the interior was. The inner flange inside diameter is what it has on the website. But I pulled up some different ones on K&N's website. So I'm gonna check the other two parts stores that are in town today, assuming that they're open. And if I can find a match, perfect. I'll buy the match, I'll come back, I'll throw it on, it should be good. If not, then I'll go, I'll get the calipers again, I'll measure it, and I'll get something roughly about the same size, match it up to K&N, order it, and then whenever it comes in, I'll put it on. I've been checking the website for the stuff I ordered, and still, and as far as the first bigger mod that I ordered, hasn't told me anything about it being shipped yet. It says the shipping date. I'm not sure if what it refers to as the shipping date is the date where it should get here, or if that is the date in which they believe it'll be shipped out from them. Either way, that's in roughly about a week, so I'm gonna say that should be in by no later than 2.5 weeks, just giving some grace and saying that they're shipping it on that date. And then for the GTR badge, I haven't heard anything about that. It says that they have it on, the status is they have it on hand, but it doesn't have an ETA yet. So waiting to hear more about that and to have them ship it. But yeah, so today we are going to jack up the back of the car. I watched a couple of different videos on detaching the hose. I know it'll drip when I do it, but apparently it's not too hard. It's just interesting to finagle the hose through the little opening from right there, because it's not too big of an opening. So probably what I'll do is I'll use this, I'll unclamp it and then probably push it using the side part right there, because there's more room, and I don't want to have to take the whole unit out. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. And then whenever I go back to connect it, I'll feed it in through the top, connect the bottom, and then I'll push the top part just barely past wherever the nozzle is, and I'll push it back on, so that way I'm not having to feed it back up, worry about it not going the right direction. I'll just be able to feed the bottom part, and then clamp both sides as needed to make it easier. that how it should be? Yeah, that's how it should be. So that should be able to get done today. Looking outside, I don't know if you can see my breath, but I can see my breath. It is not the warmest day. Apparently, it said it's supposed to rain today and be clear. Well, not be clear, but just be cloudy tomorrow. But the weather's been going back and forth, and I haven't seen anything on that yet. So I'm waiting to find out. Because there's a chance, if I can get everything for the car, there's a chance I drive it today. We'll find out a little bit closer to, but yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna go ahead and do that stuff. I'll cut the video while I'm dragging up the car. I might start it back whenever I'm underneath showing the hoses, but I'm tired. Also, it's in the morning. I just woke up and immediately came out here to work on this. So, yeah, that's it. Here we go. Okay, so I think I figured out. I'm thinking that it's this group of hoses right here, and that the two that go up there that have the clamps on them, I'm pretty sure those are the two that I have to replace. So they're zip tied right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to go up top, undo one, push it through. That'll let me know which one it is. I'll come down here, I'll undo the clamp for whichever one it is. I'll cut the zip tie, go to the store, get a new one, or two new ones. And then I'll also check on the air filter while I'm out. I'll come back, I'll put in the one, I'll push out the other one, do the same thing, put the zip tie back in, re-clamp them at the bottom, and then I should be good. There is this clamp here, but that looks like it's just a random clamp. Ooh. It actually might be the clamp from the top, because the top one has a different kind of clamp now. So I think I know which one that one is. But, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. So, should be fairly simple from here. Yeah, see, because this one right here is a different clamp than that one, and that's the kind of clamp that's further down. So I'm guessing that's what it is, but I'm not too sure. So what we'll do is we'll start with this one, since it's not leaking. Also, this is bringing the fuel back. Yeah, so actually no, we'll start with the other one because it'll be easier to get this one up. And so we'll start with this one because then that one will be easier when we're doing the install. So I'll just switch. Okay, so we got one of them undone. I can't really see it yet. This is awkward angle, but I'm pretty sure, yep, it's this one right here. So I was right, that is just the other clip, and then there you can see the undone end. So I'm just going to come up, unscrew that side, but I'll back out when I do it because I know it's going to drip. And then from there I'll cut that, the zip tie, and I'll take it to the store and find out what size I need. I'll come back, I'll put it back in, do the same thing with the other one, and that should be good to go. So here we go. Okay, so I finally got it off. Just gonna leave that. So part of it's cut because at first I couldn't actually get it off the underside where it clamps on. So I just cut part of it off. I don't know where I put it. Yeah, I cut part of it off. I took it to the store. I matched up the hose size. I got that hose. I'm putting it on. I didn't take the other one off yet because I'm just going to do one at a time. But I cut it up to size so there isn't too much extra. But this side was actually pretty stuck on there, so I ended up having to split it in half. Oh, excuse me, the camera battery died, but I got another one in. Basically, I ended up having to cut it while it was on there to split it and pull it off that way. Because of how much there was on there and how long it had been on there, it wasn't coming off. So I'm gonna get the new one put on. I have the piece cut out. Where did I put it? There we go. So I have the new one cut out, just about the size. I'm gonna put that on. I have new clamps as well, because I actually had some issues getting the clamps off. So I switched to just the typical style clamp. So you put it on and then you I don't have the keys with me, that's why. Screw it down and it closes shut more. So I have those. Ended up being in case anyone else has this issue, because I was not able to find the size, a 5/16 is the inner diameter of the hose. So that ended up being the size. I just got a 2-foot section. I only ended up having to use about 1.5 foot ish, about 1.5 foot to 1.5 foot, and not 1.5 foot, 1.25 foot to 1.5 foot ish is what I ended up having to use for just that one side. So double that, and that's what you need for both sides. So also, no one had the air filter that I needed, so I pretty much got my calipers from work. I measured out what it was. It ended up being 2 3/4 for the height. The inner flange ended up being roughly about 1.97 millimeters. I mean, not millimeters, 1.97 inches, which also could have been slightly distorted from when it was on there. So roughly about 1.97 to 2 inches was the inner flange diameter. The bottom flange ended up being about 2.86 inches roughly. But that part didn't really matter as much. The main thing was I can't have it too long or too big at the top because there's a bracket right there that'll interfere with it. So I have one of those ordered. That's on the way. I don't know how long it'll take to get here. I'll check the email tomorrow, probably whenever they get a chance to shoot it and say, hey, this is your shipping information. So I'm going to put the hose on, put the clamps on, then that should be good. After that, I'll drop the battery in. I'll turn it on just to make sure that it actually fires up with no issues. It doesn't have any leaks. Then after that, I'll shut it back off. I'll put the battery back on the tender, and then she'll be sitting here until the air filter comes in. And then whenever the air filter comes in, I'll put the air filter in, and then depending on weather, I might drive it. Also depending on when that other modification I have that's coming in. If that's coming in shortly after, I'll wait. If it's coming in like a week after that, then I'll go ahead and I'll drive the car around just a little bit and then put it back on up. So yeah, I'll probably start the video back whenever I actually turn it on. So I'll go back underneath, I'll put the clamps on, I'll put the hose on, I'll drop her down, and I'll come back and restart the video. Okay, so I just put the battery in. Now we are going to start her up. We'll get the fuel pump in a second. So I don't see any leaks up top. I don't see any leaks down below. So, just gonna go ahead and open the garage to vent some air out. Start her up. Leaks down low. No leaks up high. Up here. Because she's already on, I'm just going to go ahead and let her warm up, and then I'll shut her off.